go. Yeah, you can.
I was going to say, if you're still awake.
I'm looking for the...
Looking for what?
I gotta...
You got to explain what you're doing.
To who?
For the people listening.
They'll find out in a second.
Yeah, but now
Oh,
they're
here it
just...
is. I got it.
Okay.
It starts like this. Your crack of dawn, Monday morning coffee strong. Poured everything you got into a paycheck Friday night.
Yeah, this is like a Thursday night football song. That's
Your
what it says
power
in the
stroke
lyrics.
diesel backhoe riding, king of beers, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. But then the 6-string circus comes to town. We hang them speakers over the crowd. And then it's, when the lights come on. Like, that's how it starts. Jason Aldean, when the lights come on. Well, I haven't seen him in a few years, but I've seen him a bunch of times in concert. Opens every show with that song.
That is a good song to
and
open
it's
with.
electric, too.
Yeah.
I don't do the good justice. But it's like a good... You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good
Gets
riff.
the people going.
Good couple of chords.
It's provocative.
Yeah, it's provocative. You know, it makes you think. It makes you think about something. That's my
it
Jason Aldean impression.
It was.
I want my music to be something that people think about. So I'm Jason Aldean.
It was. That was a
Who's
song
gonna have a
reference.
good
It's provocative.
life?
It gets the people going.
Oh, isn't that from Step Brothers?
It is, but it's in a song about.
Is it
People in
Promiscuous
Paris.
Girl? Oh, the Jay-Z Kanye West song. God, both of those guys, you can't even talk about them anymore because Kanye went nuts. I'm sure he still is. Hopefully he's doing okay.
Kanye? You want the old Kanye. Also a lyric.
Just as long as he's doing okay. Yeah, I know that. I remember that song and all that stuff.
Yep.
But that was my last memory. It's my last memory of Kanye West.
Yeah. Oh, my last memory of Kanye was the Super Bowl commercial.
You guys were at Diddy's house. Oh, I forgot about
dude,
that.
The greatest,
wow, that was almost a year ago.
The greatest Super Bowl commercial of all time.
That's nuts.
Hey, everybody, this is Kanye West. I didn't have enough money to make a real Super Bowl commercial, so check out Yeezy.com. It'll be flashing at the bottom here. And then that's it, right?
That's so funny.
One of the greatest Super Bowl commercials of all time. What is like
the greatest Super
This
Bowl
is a
commercial
great.
of all time?
I didn't. Well, I was gonna say, what is like the one Super Bowl commercial you remember from our childhood? Because I do think Super Bowl commercials are less entitled. Like it used to be.
It was a huge deal.
It was like the launch, because then that was commercials, and it still kind of is that. Okay, so let me say this, because I'm talking myself into my own theory here. Super Bowl commercials is like the launch of commercials, and then for that entire year. That's generally like the basis of the commercials that you're going to...
For at least
like
a while.
Light
It's
Night.
a big campaign.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of television on television these days?
Not these days.
See, let me tell you something. Because I do... It's all sports, though, for the most part, but I watch a lot of sports. Every once in a while, I'll see a movie on TV that I'll watch. I'll just watch it on TV. But another side tangent off that, if I see a movie on TV and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this movie in a while, I want to watch it. The first thing I do when I put it on is instantly look up, like, is this movie for free somewhere streaming? Because then you can watch it.
Then you can watch it with no commercials. And I hate when they used to do it on FX all the time, where somebody would say "fuck," but they would just overdub it and be like
with a random voice.
Yeah.
Heck.
Darn. Yeah, not even start this.
Shoot.
Oh my gosh. They actually did that not in like for the actual version that was released. There's a movie called Galaxy Quest that I think maybe you'd like. It's a good movie.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't care, but I'm just saying if you ever. Tim Allen's in it, Alan Rickman, Sigourney Weaver. But when they were filming it, they wanted it to be rated R, and then during the editing process, the boys up top were like, "This has got to be PG-13." So there's a part in that movie where Sigourney Weaver clearly, it's a close-up on her face, and she goes, "Oh fuck!" But in the theatrical, in how it was released, she goes, "Oh shoot!"
And she clearly doesn't say shoot.
And she clearly did, but I didn't say shoot.
So back to Super Bowl commercials.
Oh yeah.
Because then I gotta. We'll talk movies in a second.
Whatever you want, keep it going.
The problem now is, like, if you watch football every Sunday, or if you watch, I watch a lot of hockey, I'll watch some college football, some college hoops.
If you watch a lot of sports.
If you watch a lot of sport, or if you watch TV in general, there's only 4, maybe 5 commercials that exist at all.
Okay.
Like, to the point where
Zempic. That's one.
Yeah, I mean, that's slightly exaggerated, but to the point where during a commercial break, there's times where you'll see the same commercial twice, not back to back.
No way.
Yeah.
That's interesting. There could be a couple of reasons
well,
for that.
I would say that not as many people watch television anymore, so companies, don't want to pay the amount of money to put ads when they could put an ad on Instagram and touch everybody.
Sure. There's a couple problems with that, too. I'm only speaking from experience because,
all right,
I used to work with
what are the
commercials.
reasons then? That there's only 5 commercials in the world.
Well, no, not for that. But
You're
I was saying
for
seeing this,
but like
twice in the
every
same thing.
commercial break, like if you watch a NHL game on TNT, a regular channel, every commercial break will be this almost the same exact. It's like, like I know. Oh, I hear the Ozempic commercial. I got to get back to my seat. This is the last one of the rotation before the show starts again.
Right. Well, that's a little different than what I thought you were saying.
No, it's like every channel is only the same commercials all the time.
Right.
And they're very repetitive. It's very annoying.
Well,
but the Super Bowl, I've always been pro Super Bowl commercials as well as I am pro football. Like, there's obviously people that watch it just for football and they hate the commercial people. And then there's people that only like the commercials and they play like commercial bingo.
That's got to be a dying breed, though.
Yes.
Because the commercials
are not as good as they once were.
No, and I mean, obviously, there's, we're just not all watching. I mean, it's basically what you've been saying this whole time. We're just not all watching TV
But
anymore.
the Super Bowl, I think, is a big exception to that.
True, but I would say that it's still you still see the effect when it comes to the commercials.
Yeah, they're not like they used to be, but that was the whole point of the segment. So is there specific commercials that, I don't remember specific commercials, but I think brands.
Sure.
Doritos was, the Doritos commercial was always like, this is going to be a must-watch.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that was big. Doritos, Bud Light, Budweiser.
Yeah, but Budweiser was the Clydesdale. They're usually a dog and some horses. I was never even.
Still big, though. People love that. I would say the Super Bowl, I don't remember too many Super Bowl commercials specifically from growing up that I was like, wow, that's great. I do remember the Doritos ones that started to be a little more interesting, like the kid with the time machine. You remember that one? That was a Super Bowl one. That was a good one. And then I remember
where they put the guy in the box?
Yeah,
but that commercial still plays. That's what I'm saying.
Great commercial. Timeless. But, I remember the one, maybe this was Doritos too, where the cat was it turned out the cat was jumping 2 stories or whatever to catch the Dorito that this guy would throw into the air.
Mm-hmm.
But then really the only other one I remember is the year they did that GoDaddy commercial where some woman was making out with that guy, with that really nerdy looking guy.
Yes. Yep.
And that was disgusting. And everybody was talking about that was crazy and gross. But that's where I remember the end of Super Bowl.
So I'm looking some up.
The end of that era.
I'm looking some up, and I definitely remember some of them. I looked up. So I'm looking at a list, top 20 Super Bowl commercials of all time. Number 1 on the list I was not alive for, but I know the commercial very well. It's that Coca-Cola commercial with Mean Joe Green.
Oh, yeah. That's an all-timer.
Everybody knows that commercial. Yeah. I don't know. This is 19. No, I mean, there's a Bugs Bunny Jordan one from 93. I don't know. That's number 2. Budweiser was
yeah, those are big.
That was 2000. So I know it, but I wasn't.
Remember the fish? The Budweiser
on the wall.
Yeah,
the talking
yeah.
fish. Yeah, I don't know if that was super. Let's see.
It had to be. It had to be.
Terry Tate office linebacker, the Reebok commercial that was 2003.
That was 2003.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is when I remember the E-Trade talking babies.
That's
number 10 on the list.
Pete Holmes, voice of that baby.
Didn't know. Don't care. Don't even know who Pete Holmes is. This one from 2010, Google Parisian Love. Don't remember it.
Yeah, somehow I forget that one.
2010 Betty White Snickers commercial. I remember that one.
I don't remember it, but I mean 2010, that commercial would have been a huge deal.
Yeah.
Because that's like
know what this
when
one is.
everybody on the internet was like became kind of obsessed with Betty White.
Yeah. See, like,
That
I
was
don't remember this one.
Very interesting.
Viva
time.
Young Taco Bell commercial.
Oh, I remember that one.
I don't.
That was the one with like all the old people eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's what it says.
And they're
I
like
just
all
don't remember it.
crazy.
This one I also remember. I did not think this was a good commercial. I don't think it's deserving of this list. Michael Bublé versus Bubbly, the drink, 2019.
Oh, 2019. I don't think there were any. I don't know how many years
Yeah, I
passed
think-
exactly, but that's certainly past the years
So
where they
I
were
gotta
making
find a
good
better
Super Bowl
list.
commercials.
I gotta because now that I did that list, it's in like time order. 1 was that Joe Green, and
Gotcha.
then 20 was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
last year. Highest rated Super Bowl commercials in ad metric history. This could help.
Never mind. We're talking about.
Do you
kinda
remember?
ones that we saw.
I don't know if this was a Super Bowl commercial either, but we were biting this morning. We were biting this morning. Do you
That
remember
was
that
a Super
one?
Bowl commercial. Yeah.
That's a great
Real
one.
good, Steve.
Yeah,
real good.
Roller cooler cooler.
Well, that was part of the unsung heroes of history
Yes.
line. That was they did
Also
so many of
Bud,
those.
was that
But that's-
Budweiser?
It was or Bud Light.
Yeah.
But Rolling Cooler's the only one I remember. Mr. Rolling Cooler, Cooler
phone-
Roller.
My phone.
For a
is-
man who has everything except for a friend to help carry a cooler. Unpopular. That was great.
Yeah, that was a
that
great
was
one.
That was big. That kind
Trying
of
to look
joke mechanism where you have like a guy in the background sing like a funny subtext or something. That was a big when people unlocked that key, a lot of folks were drinking from that well for a minute. And it's still funny.
So, and like the reason I'm thinking about this, one, because it's almost Super Bowl, but what the fuck? Did you see what Doritos did this year?
No.
I didn't look into it too much, but essentially they did like customer submitted
Ads.
ads,
Yeah, they've
and
done
then you
that
could go
before.
on and vote,
Yeah.
and then whatever one gets the highest vote is going to be the Super Bowl commercial. Which I didn't go on and vote because I don't want to ruin the glory of it for myself. But then you're essentially showing people like, hey, this is going to be our Super Bowl commercial. So dumb.
Yeah,
idea,
but how many people are actually going to vote in that? And they also Doritos has done that before. Them specifically, I'm sure other brands have done that as well.
I know that. None of these are. Nothing will load. I'm getting.
What
just
did
porn
that?
pop. I'm trying to look at people. It's like my phone's cooked.
Isn't that the new one? Didn't you? Just
Yeah,
get a
but
new
like
phone?
it's these. If you go to the websites that have
these lists.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's like the worst.
It's all just ads for like.
Oh,
it's a lot of that
dude,
like
I can't do
you won't believe what they
anything.
look like now.
Yeah, I'm just.
It's
Like
all
it just keeps trying to bring me back to
it's all weird pop-ups.
People
and-
Magazine, but People Magazine just has an infinite. I'm just gonna let it load.
Yeah. Leave her be.
Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
Cross that off the list. Are we good there?
I will say one thing that I think they have started to do in more recent years was commercials building up to the Super Bowl commercial. The number
Yeah.
one example that comes to mind, I know there's a lot of examples, but when they were doing the Baby Mr. Peanut,
Yep.
there were a bunch of commercials building up to that.
I
don't think that that's something they did when we were growing up.
I feel like
Now they have like
Bud
trailers.
Light's been doing that this year. Yes. I don't know that I've seen them so much on TV, but I've seen them a lot on like Twitter. It's
Sure.
like they're releasing like shorts almost leading up to their commercials.
Yeah.
And it's Shane Gillis and Post Malone. And
Wow.
I've seen like 4 or 5 different shorts
Of the
of
two of
them
them.
like in Bud Light
Yeah.
commercials. And the one is, I'm sure, I don't know if they're on TV, but the one is like it's the two of them sitting in lawn chairs like in a driveway with a cooler in between them. They both got Bud Light in their hands, and Post is about to drink the Bud Light, and Shane goes like, you can't actually drink beers in beer commercials, right? And Post's like, really? And they're like going back and forth, and then they're like, you know what I mean? Like
That's funny.
Shane Gillis doing
Yeah, that's classic.
Shane
Wow.
Gillis. Yeah.
Folks, why waste your time with, menial, needless tasks, all right, like going to the grocery store? All right, you're busy. You got a lot of stuff on your plate, okay? You shouldn't have to worry about roaming around these aisles, wondering where everything is. The parking lot, God, it's a mess. Nothing worse than when you see, oh my God, finally, a free parking space. It's open. I'm going for it. And then you start to pull in, and somebody left their fucking shopping cart there. Who are these people? Wouldn't you rather never have to think about those people again? Well, the good news is you can do that when you use Instacart, because with Instacart you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. What a great deal, but it gets even better because right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do is spend $10. Instacart will deliver whatever it is you're looking for right to your front door, okay? $10, that's what, like 2 boxes of Cheerios or something, and then you get free delivery. So whatever you're ordering, you're getting that free delivery. All you got to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode description. Shop smarter. I feel like that's already somebody else's slogan, but I'm using it here, and you should be using Instacart today. Folks, the holidays have passed. You've been working so hard for everybody else. Why not do something nice for yourself for a change? All right, get yourself a little treat, something that's going to make you look good, make you feel good. And there's no better place to procure such items than over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. T-shirts, bucket hats, hoodies, long sleeves, slides, pint glasses, mugs, notebooks, all kinds of great stuff. You can check that all out. Hit the link in this episode description, okay? And this is top quality also, by the way. This is not like cheap stuff that, normally when you listen to like a podcast or something, it's like, I will order something to support them, but I'm never actually going to wear it because you get it and it's that Gildan brand and it's cheap and it's disgusting and it fits like a cardboard box, but not us, baby, okay? The t-shirt specifically, tri-blend material. Whatever, no big deal. Trust me, you're going to want to check it out. Again, at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Podcast advertising has carved out this piece for itself. Well, let me put it like this. It's now TV advertising, podcast advertising, newspaper advertising, or whatever the third option might be, bus bench ads, I don't know. But podcasting is now a legitimate source for advertisement as far as companies like McDonald's and State Farm and NASCAR. It's kind of crazy. It's really cool to see, brands of that size moving away from the more traditional media like TV and whatever else I just mentioned. But the problem is there hasn't really been any space for smaller or even local businesses to get in on that action. But that's what we're here for. That's what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits of podcast advertising, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
I watched a movie.
Den of Thieves 2?
No, dude, not yet.
You
But
haven't watched it yet?
I rewatched Den of Thieves the other night.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, gearing up. I'm not. It's theaters only.
I think it's on Amazon now.
Dude, I literally watched it. I watched Den of Thieves. I rented Den of Thieves 1 on Amazon Saturday night, I'm pretty sure.
Today I looked on Amazon, like new movies, and I'm pretty sure it was up there.
Well, it's going to be on my list now. But I watched a movie, Netflix movie, like a Netflix original movie, just came out. Have you seen some of the new Netflix originals?
I don't know what.
Back in Action. Have you seen this movie? Or have you heard of it?
Oh, that's got Jamie Foxx in it, right?
Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz.
I was going to say, don't tell me who the lady
and
is.
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
And Kyle Chandler, who is Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights.
Oh, Hal Jordan. DC's Hal Jordan,
Sure.
which is Green Lantern in the new DCU.
I think people probably know this about me. I'm an action movie person. And I'll watch any action movie. Fast and Furious is high on my list of movie series. I just like some good old-fashioned action. This is a great movie. And it's like you know what it is, too? It's a great, like PG-13 spy movie. I won't get into details because I think it's worth a watch, but fantastic movie. Essentially, Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz used to be spies. Then they have a family, and then, the spy world sneaks back up on them.
It's like Spy Kids from the parents' point of view.
Kind of, but it's like I guess I don't even know. I don't even remember the plot to Spy Kids. Well, I thought the parents were also spies in Spy Kids.
Bruh, in Spy Kids, literally the plot of Spy Kids is that these two spies go and have a family together, and then they get called back into action. But in Spy Kids, they get captured, so their kids have to save them. That's the difference between these two movies.
So this is a Spy Kids remake.
Spy Kids.
Not exactly.
Spy Kids from the parents' perspective.
This is live action Spy Kids.
Spy Kids is a live action movie.
Yeah, but like the Thumbs.
That's live action still. The Foogly makeup is like all practical, and it looks insane, but like really good for. It looks good for Fooglies, even though they look disgusting. But that's what you want a Foogly to look like. You want your Fooglies gross.
The CGI in Spy Kids makes it not
just
live action.
No, because it's only the thumbs.
I don't even know if it was real because I've never seen. Have you ever seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yeah,
so I've never seen it, but I saw a clip the other day on Twitter that was like, I can't believe how bad CGI used to be, and it was Shark Boy breaking out of a cage.
Is that when he does it with his teeth?
And it was the worst.
Yeah.
Like I could have drawn it better.
No, that movie really the problem with that movie as a whole is
it's supposed to be in 3D.
I think Shark Boy and Lava Girl was in 3D.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that movie hung its hat so heavily on CGI. It just did not work out.
It was the worst CGI I've ever seen. But good movie. It made me think of something.
What's it called again?
Back in Action. Watch it. Good movie. It made me think of something, though. I said this to my girlfriend. I said, if we're ever in a situation where we become spies, you have to, and this is what makes it tough because they're spies, but you have to befriend another spy couple. That way, if you ever have children and then your spy life comes back to haunt you, you can trust your spy friends to take care of your children. Because, like, you can't just go drop your kids off at, like, your grandma's or your cousin's house. You know what I mean? Because if they're not spies, they're not going to be able to handle if the other spies
who are after you come for the kids. So you need to have a set of spy friends that you can rely on to take care of your children in the situation where you need to go spy. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
But here's why it's difficult.
Because you can't trust
spies. But great example is in Fast and Furious.
Oh.
This is also very Spy Kids-esque. One of the later Fast and Furious, so they get off the rails.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in 9, in 8 or 9, I think it's 9.
Yeah.
The bad guy is John Cena, who is in the movies is Dom Toretto's brother.
Okay,
but they've never spoken about before.
Yeah.
And he's the bad guy. And so then I think it's in 10, because in 9, at the end of it, they convert him into like not a bad. He's back with the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in 10, Dom, who has a child at that point, spoiler alert.
Wow.
Not with Letty. It's a crazy story. It was when Letty was supposedly dead.
I remember.
Yeah.
And I've never even seen these movies.
Yeah.
I've seen the 5th one, and I've seen Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
That's it. But you've talked about these movies so much.
So what happens is
it's not with Letty?
What happens is they come after Dom, and in coming after Dom, they go after Dom's son.
Ooh, big mistake.
So the brother, who was former CIA spy gone bad, now gone good, comes and rescues Dom's son.
And that's what you need.
You need
more spy-like people.
It's got to be like people you were friends with pre-spy era.
But that's
or like somebody you went to spy academy with.
I wouldn't trust anybody that I went to spy academy with, even because they could all be plants. You don't know where they were before, and you don't know if they're lying to you because they were.
If
spies.
you're a good spy, if you've known them for that long and you're a good spy, you would know.
But what if they're a better spy, Matthew? What if they're the best spy?
If you're not a good spy, you shouldn't have a family. If you're a spy but you're not good at it, you shouldn't have a family in the first place, because that means you're probably going to get you and your family killed at some point. The only way you can.
But if you're that bad at being a spy, do you think you've made that many spy enemies that they're like they even feel you're worth their time?
No, probably not.
Exactly. Now, what's a little interesting to me is what you said at the beginning of this. Is you talking to your girlfriend about if you ever become spies. I think that I am too old to become a spy. I don't think I'll ever become a spy.
Listen, I agree. I'm past prime spy age, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
You should have a plan
in case you have to go spy.
In case you accidentally end up being spies.
Yeah, accidentally being spies.
Like Chuck.
Like Chuck.
Chuck didn't have a plan.
It's true.
And his sister, who he lived with, didn't know he was a spy, and she was always almost getting killed, I feel like, at points in that show. Like right before she found out he was a spy.
Right.
Like he was putting her in harm's way left and right.
Yeah, that's true.
And like that's the other thing, your kids aren't going to know you're spies.
I think that Chuck, now looking back on the Chuck situation,
great show.
Great show, but I think maybe because you know the two people are his. What's the guy's name? Do you remember the guy's name? Is it
big
Sarah?
Guy. Big Sarah, because he loves Sarah. They
Sarah's
date,
the best.
don't they?
Of course, yeah, almost immediately. What the fuck is that guy's name? I don't remember the guy's name.
Butch.
Yeah, Butch. But they're like his handlers.
Yeah.
And I don't think they do a very good job handling him. Because even them,
it's
being
twofold.
spies,
nobody's
going after their family as far as we're aware.
Dude, Morgan. In that show, Beauty.
That guy did a great job.
John Casey is his name.
John Casey.
Doesn't he end up being a bad guy?
I don't remember.
I
don't remember.
I
don't think I ever watched the last few seasons of Chuck.
Lester was the other guy who worked with Morgan and Chuck.
Yep.
So you're right, but there's two reasons because of it. It's because Casey thought Chuck was too stupid to ever accomplish anything as a spy, and Sarah was in love with him. So they both weren't looking at it through clear spy handler lenses.
Excellent. Wow. Way to sum that up perfectly, Matthew.
Again, here's the two things. Here's the one thing that people say.
I think you talk right to camera.
Here's the one thing that people say, but I'll give you a second one to add on to it. People always say, when you're getting ready to have your first child, this is going to be very
yeah, no, please continue.
No, this is dark, but people always say if when you're getting ready to have your first child, the one thing you want to do before you have a child is you should always have a will. People say that, you know what I mean? Thing number 2 is you should have a conversation with your spouse or significant other that you're having a child with,
your baby
starting
mama,
a family
your
with,
baby mama.
About what you do in in an accidental spy situation.
That's great.
Because that's the other. I mean, this is not where we started, but a lot of times accidental spy situations ruin marriages. Because a lot of times, if only one spouse ends up in the accidental spy situation,
which happens a lot, the chance that you would both become accidental spies is
So there needs to be. So I would say a few things. Like a signal or a code word.
Yeah.
Or you know how Alex and Neil and White Collar used to leave the origami origamis behind?
Yeah.
Hey, if I ever leave an origami on your nightstand, know that I am now a spy.
The Russians have me.
Yeah, I'm a spy now. And then also what do you do with your next of kin in the situation where you both end up in a spy
It depends on how deep in you get, right? Because there's a certain point where if I become an accidental spy,
if you're face level, if you're surface level accidental spy, that's not accidental spy. I'm talking you end up in it.
If you end up in it,
you end up.
If you end up in it.
So okay, so
if you end up in it, fellas.
No, and maybe you ended up in an accidental spy situation. All right, let me throw a
Fellas,
theoretical at you.
You know when you fall into an accidental spy situation? I'm talking to the fellas right now real quick.
So if you end up in an accidental spy situation, again, I'm no expert, but this is usually how it goes in cinema.
Yeah.
There's one of two things that can happen. Like, they'll either put you in witness protection afterwards, or they're like, dude, you're really fucking good at this. You are now a full-time spy.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about, is you end up in an accidental spy situation, and it turns into a full-time spy situation.
Right. It's that thing where finally at the end of the movie, the woman who is
president
like the
or
president
like the,
or like the head of the CIA, whoever, you finally come face to face, because she's been talking to the full-time spy the whole time, and this guy's like, I don't think this accidental spy is like real good, and she's like, blah blah blah. I don't think so either. But then she comes up, and it's like Helen Mirren or Glenn Close, I think, would be perfect, and she's like, we'll be in touch, and then she gets back on her helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Glenn
that
Close,
happens,
Glenn Close is really good in the movie.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Just in that movie I'm talking about.
Oh, I was just talking
Back
about
in
any
action.
movie.
Yeah, dude, I've been watching a lot of spy stuff, I guess, lately. I've had a lot of spy thoughts. You know that
It's
show
cool.
Night Agent? The Netflix show Night Agent?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I watched the first season a while ago. Good. Second season came out. I made a soft attempt to start watching it early in the day this past Sunday, and it was a bad idea because I had too much. My brain was in too many places. But it's like, guy kind of works for the CIA. From what I remember, somewhat spoilers for the first season, he gets somewhat reprimanded, and they put him at this thing called the night desk, which is like in the basement of the White House, and you just sit next to a phone that never rings. And then, of course, when he's working there, it rings. And
Damn.
Yeah, it's like he has to
That's
activate
cool.
like this night agent thing, and it's spy stuff, and then he gets in the mix, and then at the end, he saves the president's life, and then they make him a night agent. So now he's
That's
full-blown
cool.
spy. So again, I wasn't even thinking that, but that's why all these thoughts between this movie, spies are just on my brain.
Yeah, to be a night agent.
Yeah, and like, have you watched any of those that newly released footage of the JFK assassin?
No, it just came out.
I don't know.
I
Emily,
don't think so.
Help me out here.
I don't
Didn't some
know.
new stuff get released? Didn't Don say he was going to release some
Yeah,
stuff?
he put. I don't think anything actually has been put out though yet, because it was like 2 days ago. It was a couple. It was very recent.
Yeah, I thought this was all stuff that was like technically has been public information for a long time.
Well,
Yeah, there's still
I think
some
it
stuff.
was,
There's
but
still some
I
stuff
think it
that
should have
wasn't.
been. And there was some stuff that would have. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just keep seeing people saying this proves the CIA did it on the internet, which is probably
Which they've already been saying though. So
yeah. But now
we'll
again,
see what
spies.
we'll see what their actual new evidence is, because I don't know if that stuff, because he did
Can I ask you a question?
write out an executive
Let me-
order.
Let me. Can I pose a question?
Sure.
Tomorrow morning, you wake up, print it all over the headlines.
Yeah.
New release proves CIA plotted JFK assassination. You read that.
Yeah.
Are you like, oh my God, this is a problem? Or are you like, yeah, makes sense, and just on with your day?
Yeah, I'm just on with my day.
Yeah, I
to
think
tell
I
you the
would be
truth.
too. Like, I like.
Here's
I'm not
what-
saying they did, but like,
The idea of that happening has been
seems
so
pretty
placed in our
reasonable.
brains. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you think about LBJ and all that stuff. But,
BGTQ
LGBTQJ.
plus
Yeah, who was the vice president at that time?
LBJ, LeBron James Jr.
Yeah. Bronny. G League didn't work out for him. He's got to become vice pres.
Him, Aaron Rodgers, and RFK
Yeah,
all
they're
together.
they're the new Department of Government Efficiency. Shoot, where was I going? Oh, I think the big problem is going to be because the executive order that Trump signed also released stuff about the MLK assassination. So I think some of that stuff, if it
CIA.
gets really bad. I mean, a lot of people, the FBI really fucked with Martin Luther King and all that stuff. People know that. But if something comes out where it's like, yeah, they did kill Martin Luther King Jr. for like this reason, that could cause some problems. But this brings me into something I really want to talk about. But I know we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
The Doomsday Clock. Are you familiar with the Doomsday Clock?
Nah.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you.
Oh, maybe I am. There's a clock that says when the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who's running it?
I'm just gonna read off this
All
little
right.
thing right now and explain a little bit. So the doomsday clock is a clock. Well, it's like a it's like a clock, and you can move the hands on and stuff. Anyways, it was established in 1947, and it was created to alert humanity of existential dangers. As the clock moves closer to midnight, the risk of global catastrophe increases. So over the years, for various reasons, the hands of the clock have been put to different positions. Like in 1953, the clock hand was moved to 2 minutes to midnight when the U.S. did hydrogen bomb tests, right? And before that, in 49, it had been moved to 3 minutes because the Soviets were doing nuclear tests. Now, I think just today, they've adjusted the doomsday clock again. And now, this is who it says is in charge of this. The doomsday clock is set annually by a bulletin of atomic scientists based on global risk. So
Okay.
who that group is seems very shady.
Yeah.
The doomsday clock right now is at 89 seconds to midnight. Just over a minute.
I don't like that.
It's not good.
No, I don't like that because they moved it from 2 minutes to 89 seconds. Does
No.
it ever go backwards?
Oh yeah, it goes backwards.
Okay,
So
okay.
um
How does it, like, why not put just round one way or another? 89 seconds.
that is very
So
specific.
stupid.
And I don't know what kind of algorithms
running out.
I don't know
They're
what kind of
click-clacking
numbers
away.
you're
They got
click-clacking. I don't know what you're calculating to get
Is
that
this-
precise number, but there's no way those calculations
Is this the
are that
first time
precise.
it's been under 2 minutes?
No.
Oh.
In 2002, it was moved to 100 seconds. But this is the closest to midnight it's ever been. But that also feels like
Why 2002?
it was like post-pandemic stuff, climate change, and cyber warfare concerns. You know, people were just like, there's a lot of
9/11.
new weird stuff happening. We don't know what it
Not a
is.
new 9/11.
But you want to know the furthest back it's ever been?
yeah.
1991, 17 minutes from midnight. So that's a while.
Was that a pretty
That's
good
like
year?
a while away. It must have been. Must have been great. Clinton was president then, right? 91.
He was getting sucked in the office.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why.
Sending me to midnight, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. But it's just so fascinating.
Yeah, I got that'll be my topic next week, maybe, because I got another movie on my list right now. Leave the World Behind, Netflix movie. Haven't got to it yet.
Tell me how that is.
Yeah,
I'll
let you know.
But we've done a lot of movie talk, but this is something I'm very curious about because it's been affecting my life, and that's why I care about it. Because if it didn't, I would have no interest in talking about it. Subtitles. You put on subtitles when you watch television, and do you have any feelings about it? Emily, you use subtitles, right?
All right.
I do.
Because you were.
I used to be very passionate. No subtitles.
Yeah.
Like I had a roommate who would always put subtitles on, and every time I turned the TV, I would turn them off, and it would just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Mostly, so a lot of it comes back to sports. Like if you're watching a sporting event and the subtitles are on, there's two issues. One, it's covering some part of the screen that I'd like to be seeing.
Yeah.
And two, I mean, it's hard to do subtitles for sports because nobody knows what's going to be said next. So it's like,
They have to caption them live.
I would say on average 6 to 7 minutes behind. Like what's like it is. That's one. Like technological advancement that just has not came yet.
Well, because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Emily, if you want to.
I was just gonna say subtitles for like live stuff. Huge no. I'm always like, if I'm
Yeah.
no. On,
I
like,
mean,
the
it doesn't
live.
to the point you guys are kind of making. It doesn't help that much.
Yeah,
But-
So by the time you read it, they're already well.
It doesn't
past
even matter
something
at
like
that point, yeah.
Like
Like if you're watching it like on mute, like if you're at a place where it's like maybe the game's on mute or something. and
that,
all you
yeah. Like if you're at
it's still not
if you're at like
great,
not a
but-
sports bar, but like if you're at like a Chili's and there's a TV over there and you're kind of
And they've
like,
got, like, lots
keeping
of
an eye on
stuff
the
on.
game,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, at least you can see somewhat what the announcer's saying. That I would agree with. Subtitles though, I used to be very anti. if I'm watching something and I have full control over the volume, I still prefer no subtitles.
Yeah.
But here's a couple things with that. Is one, I feel like, and I don't blame the like show or movie, I actually am partially convinced that it's a TV issue because TVs are so inexpensive now. I feel like they've started to cut back on sound quality because I feel like they're like the background noise of shows now, like the music or whatever it is always louder than the voices in the shows. Do you sense that at all?
Emily?
I like read a thing a while ago specifically about movies. Like if you're watching, a lot of times movie audio is mixed for like a theater and their speakers are different.
So if
you're watching it on a TV at home and it's still mixed for like, a theater or whatever, it will it will tend to do that. But if you're watching the same movie in a theater mixed the same way,
it would be
better usually.
All right. So
But
I'm not
like,
far off in my
it's
in
a
my
little
thought
bit
process.
TV and a little bit editing.
So
stuff.
like if I'm watching a movie late at night, let's say my girlfriend's sleeping and I want to watch a movie and I'm watching an action movie, I'll like barely be able to hear the people talk sometimes, but like then a gunfight will break out and it's like it's in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? So I've started using subtitles more because in a situation where I can't watch it as loud as I want to
For courtesy reasons.
I don't like having to like if you're focusing so much on like trying hard to hear what the people are saying, it's hard to really pay attention to everything else that's going on, and subtitles have helped me do that a lot. I will say I'm a slow reader, so that's a disadvantage of subtitles to me.
Yeah.
But same thing with NCIS. Like I watch NCIS or shows like that. I'll watch a lot at night. Like tonight's example, I'll get home from hockey. It'll be late. I want to watch an episode or two on NCIS before I go to sleep. But I like to do it in the comfort of my own bed. My girlfriend will be sleeping, so I'll watch it very low volume with subtitles on. And like that, I was kind of forced into it, but I've became very comfortable with. Like I have little qualms about doing it as long as it's not like I wouldn't want again if I was sitting in my living room by myself, full control of the volume, and I was watching a movie and I could easily just turn it up, I would do that rather than have subtitles on. Back to your I went long-winded.
That was a lot of information. But I'm glad you at least have like thoughts on subtitles because I just saw something that said,
are you pro or anti?
I'm gonna work it out here. The reason I asked because I saw this thing that said 70% of all people are using subtitles now when they're watching TV at home, and I don't like subtitles. Similar situation. So when my wife and I moved in together, years ago, she's got the subtitles on, and I'm like, you listen to subtitles? So now if she's watching TV with me, I got to use them. But I'm still super anti-subtitles.
Have they grown on you at all, though?
Here's what I like is sometimes the subtitles will have something very funny in them that you wouldn't
like
get.
The sound. Yeah.
Yeah, like some kind of like an onomatopoeia or something that you wouldn't get if you didn't have them on. So that I like. It almost feels like an Easter egg kind of thing to discover. But generally speaking, I really don't like using them. Yeah, but I'm not like, I guess honestly I'm trying to keep the fire alive in being, because I feel like giving into subtitles, I'm losing something. I'm losing a part of myself.
My girlfriend also only has like one ear that really works.
That'll do it.
So like she's pretty
that makes
used
sense.
to subtitles.
There's just something about them. I just don't. It just bothers me. Just doesn't feel right.
You want to know what? So you said 70%.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Want to know what I think bumped those numbers up a lot? two things.
Okay.
Go ahead, guys.
It's always two things with you. There's one thing, but I'm going to add a second thing as well.
Two pieces of, what do you call, two pieces of media that I think can be accredited to the recent increase in subtitle usage?
Pornography?
No.
Oh. Podcasts?
No.
Dubstep?
No.
What?
Squid Games and Parasite.
The Koreans are trying to take away our hearing? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not blaming the Koreans.
Well, maybe somebody should.
But think about it. Both those were super popular a couple years back.
Yeah.
And you had to watch them with subtitles. You didn't have to, but it was a lot easier because even the English dubbed versions.
So just generally speaking, the growth of popularity in foreign content
yes.
has increased comfortability with subtitles. Fair. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
And that's got to be true.
What's up?
Boom.
Fuckers.
I don't like using them in regular
Intelligent.
life,
All right, let's do the Who Win of the Week.
Okay, I remember it this time too.
Thanks for letting me know. You
The-
did the thing. This
No,
if
I
you
didn't
remember it, just say it. That's my whole thing.
Okay. The Who
That's a-
the Who Would Win of the Week this week is Bart Simpson versus Bugs Bunny. To me, yeah, that's what we decided.
I know. I was looking to see if you had your Bart Simpson hat on.
I do. I have my
Yeah.
Bart Simpson hat on. That's why I thought of him today. I just
That's
looked in the
all,
mirror.
folks. Is that Bugs?
That's Porky Pig.
Fuck.
To me, this is
My whole argument.
to me this is two like tricksters, two pranksters going at it, because that's
yes.
really what Bugs Bunny is and what Bart Simpson is.
Yes.
With the slingshot and stuff. I feel like though Bugs Bunny's got this one. I feel like Bugs Bunny's gonna outsmart Bart at his own game. Like,
Well-
let's say Bugs Bunny digs a hole and Bart drops a firecracker down it. We know Bugs Bunny's that hole is gonna he's gonna come up from a different hole and be like, "What are you looking at?" And then that firecracker's gonna explode in Bart
Can I
Simpson's
ask a
face.
question? What version of reality are we in? Are we in a Bugs Bunny reality or are we in a Bart Simpson reality?
I think I'm gonna say Bugs Bunny. I mean, I think they're pretty similar. They're both cartoons. And, if you look at The Simpsons and you see, for example, Homer falling down Springfield Gorge and getting, beat up, but he still lives and stuff. Like, the cartoon violence aspect exists in both these worlds where, you can suffer a lot and still be fine. However, nobody can bounce back from an explosion, being shot in the face, having an anvil dropped on them, a piano. Nobody bounces back from critical injury like a Looney Tune. The Simpsons are going to be fine. Any Simpsons character, like Bart Simpson, will live. But you see the Simpsons go to the hospital all the time. Dr. Hibbert is a staple of that show. There's no Looney Tune hospitals.
Well, that's why I started asking the question, because Bugs Bunny's pranks are a lot less sinister than Bart's, but in Bart's universe, they would inflict a lot more damage.
Sure.
Like, Bugs Bunny's dropping a piano on somebody because it's funny, knowing that person's going to be okay getting hit by it. They're just going to be flat for a couple minutes,
Right.
and then they'll sprout back up.
Can you
know?
imagine Bugs Bunny coming into our world and pulling that same stuff?
And then,
But he has no idea. Like, he thinks that
Yeah.
he drops an anvil on someone thinking they're going to be fine, but then, they fucking explode,
Yeah.
and their family sees
So
their
that's
brains,
why,
and Bugs
like,
is like,
if
oh, shit.
if Bugs Bunny is in a Simpsons reality, his
Here's the
somewhat less sinister pranks are going to inflict a lot less damage, whereas Bart's more sinister pranks in Bugs Bunny's universe are going to inflict zero damage. Like, the slingshot's not going to do a thing.
The
to
thing
Bugs.
about this whole component of whose universe and stuff is I feel like Bugs Bunny, specifically that character, no matter what universe he's in, it all kind of manipulates around him. He's always able to do his regular stuff.
Can I tell you, I know exactly how this fight would go.
Okay.
And it would be over before it started, because what would happen would be they would tell Bart, hey, you got to be at the Octagon at 6 o'clock or whatever. Bart would walk out of the house at 5:30, jump on his skateboard, go to where he thought the Octagon was, and he would see the octagon with the open door, and he would go to skateboard right into it, but it would actually be a brick wall that was painted to look like the octagon with an open door, and he would run into it, and then he would be concussed, and Bugs wins the fight before Bart even steps into the ring.
So the thing, Bugs Bunny is extremely smart, extremely talented, and I don't have a third thing. But he is both of those.
Yeah,
and we've got to give him the credit for that.
He's creative in the way that he's a creative trickster.
He really knows how to use everything in his environment to his advantage. He can come up with a disguise very quickly, which is something I think Bart would fall for.
No, I don't think so. Because Bugs Bunny does come up with disguises quickly, but usually he's still his rabbit ears are obviously still sticking in his forest feet.
You know that thing.
But
you know that thing where Bugs Bunny's like being chased, and then he runs to hide in a barber shop, and then the guy chasing him runs in, and Bugs Bunny suddenly is dressed like the barber, and the guy thinks he's the barber and puts him in the barber. Like,
and he points that way.
That would work on Bart.
See, I don't know if it would.
I am almost. I'm
either way. I'll tell you right now. I'm taking Bugs Bunny.
It's still Bugs. Yeah.
I don't know if that would work though.
I think that would definitely work on. I think
you're taking Bugs.
I am taking Bugs. I think Bugs is the ultimate trickster god. Bart Simpson is really gonna. He's gonna get himself learned.
Yeah, and Bugs would be hard to kill. Like I think I've seen Bugs Bunny get his skin ripped off before.
Yeah, something like that.
And still be fine. And again,
just everything.
He just gets flat or like long or like bent.
Yeah.
But then he just snaps back into form.
Yeah, he's unkillable.
Yeah. Like if Bart took a slingshot and hit Bugs right in the stomach, he might
like boing.
Well, no, he might like really bend
That's what
back,
I said. That's what I just.
Like,
that's what boing
do one of
is.
these.
But then it would shoot the
it
slingshot
would shoot it
pellet
back at Bart. Yeah.
And Bart Simpson would choke on it, choke to death, and that's how this fight would go. It'd be a fun cartoon fight, though.
I'm taking Bugs.
Based on this conversation, it'd be. It's interesting to me because we only ever talk about it at the beginning, like right after we do it. But the who would win tournament?
Yeah,
I
the
think
tournament champions. Bugs could make a run. I was thinking the same thing, Andy. I was thinking the same thing. Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who would win the week? Bugs versus Bart.
Boom. There
Andy.
it is. I know you got to get out of here.
Yeah, we got to wrap her up.
Let's do it. Yeah, love you.
No,
what?
That's what I say.
Oh, sorry.
I was waiting for your one last thought.
Oh, I don't have a last thought.
Andy.
You got to go. I thought we were
I do, but I was
okay.
going to give you one last thought.
Nah,
Andy,
well,
I love you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.